Hi, we're Delta Rae, and you're watching the AU Review.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us in.
Welcome to Australia.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You haven't been here for probably more than 48 hours. What have your impressions been so far?
I don't know if we've been here for more than 24 hours yet, but awesome. I think we can all say that we don't want to leave. So that's going to be tough. But so far so great. It's a beautiful city. It's huge, and everyone here has been so nice to us. So we're feeling very welcomed.
Is that as much as anything that you don't want to have to get back on the plane, which is very lengthy and
No, truly. Well, I actually think we all found the plane ride super luxurious. I mean, it was very long, but we were all like, look at all these movies. And it wasn't a full flight, so we got to spread out and not have to see each other the whole time. So that rarely happens. But no, truly more than that, it's just that it's always been a dream, I think, of all of ours to come to Australia. So we're kind of pinching ourselves and, just find it really lucky.
And you're going to be playing the iconic Byron Bay Blues Festival this weekend. What have you heard about the festival? It's one of the very few festivals in Australia that I think has a rapport around the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know we've heard that Byron is, it's really like a mini paradise. And so I'm really excited to see it, for its beauty. And then in terms of music, I know that there are so many bands that we love from the States that are playing. And so we're really excited to see them, but then also pretty stoked to see some of the Australian acts, which earlier today we were getting sort of clued into who we got to check out. So that's going to be pretty fun.
You'll hopefully leave with a few discoveries before you go home.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's important.
And I imagine that's been the case through all your career, though. You've either started, you started out supporting other bands, and now other bands support you, and that must be a good way to discover new music.
Going to festivals has been really good for our music discovery, and yeah, I think that it's just a cool scene to be a part of, because you were on the road, and then you can see based on the posters and the venues that you're playing who's coming and playing that venue later, and you're like, I've never heard of them, and then you go check them out, and you're inspired by them. So I think that's a really fun aspect of touring and playing live music.
And this kind of, not that you really have ever stopped, but this seems to be the start of a very big touring cycle for you, with the release of the album, I guess early next week officially. It started streaming online though this week, and people are getting their first taste of it. What have you gotten some early indicators of how fans are responding to the new material?
Yeah. We have, especially on Twitter, people are sort of giving us their initial feedback, and we're happy to say that it's all been positive so far. We have such wonderful fans who sort of follow and stay clued in and share, when we post something like this. But this record's been 2 years in the making almost. So I think people were really hungry for it, and we were eager to release it. And so it's kind of like now's the time. It's the time that we've been most excited for, but also most sort of dreading, because it's so that sweet spot of like before the album comes out, when it's yours and you love it and you're so excited, and you can just sort of have all the hope in the world that people will love it. So now it's coming to reality, to fruition. Like, will people love it? And fingers crossed that the more ears that hear it, the more it's well loved. But so far, so good.
How did the recording process, or even just the production in general of this record, compare to what you'd done earlier? Was there more emphasis on sitting down and making an album from start to finish compared to the first record? I mean, was it more live? How did things compare this time around based on your experiences with the last record?
It was really different. The last record we crowdfunded through Kickstarter, and then after we'd finished that campaign, we signed with Warner Brothers, and so we had a very small timeline for actually making the album, and we did it on a small budget, obviously, and so this album we really wanted to take a bit more time with, and that was convenient because we've been on the road so constantly there really wasn't another option, and so we we ended up spending time in the studio in LA with two producers, amazing producers, Rob Cavallo and Julian Raymond. And those sessions yielded about 16 songs, and we got to live with those songs for about 6 months. And that was really informative to us because it gave us a sense of what we wanted to make with the album. And like you said, we did have moments where we tried to sit down and really craft an album. And I think that what we ended up with was something that wasn't, that was both crafted and also the result of what we ended up feeling most passionate about. So it wasn't, there were times when we thought we would actually try to make a concept album. And then by the time we got to the finish line, we just wanted the best songs to live in a collection. And so that's what we I think we ended up with After It All.